ship? What makes you think that I'm gonna let the whitest man that I have ever seen interview for our firm?
Because I have an appointment.
Thanks. You can do this.
Kid, what is wrong with you? You look like you're 11 years old.
I was late to puberty.
Okay.
Thank you.
Harvey Specter.
Excuse me. I was thinking about going for a swim. Are the pool facilities here nice?
Of course, sir. It's the Chilton Hotel. Best in the city.
Why is the pool closed?
And, do you have the time?
Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
Thanks. I saw your gun.
Oh, you think that's him?
Matches the description, but he didn't go in the room.
It's 10 exactly. He's just walking by. Go after him. Stay on the radio.
Rick Sorkin. Rick Sorkin. Rick Sorkin? Excuse me, Mr. Sorkin, you are 5 minutes late. Is there a reason why I should let you in?
Look, I'm just trying to ditch the cops, okay? I don't really care if you let me in or not.
Mr. Specter will be right with you.
What?
Can I get you anything? A coffee or just a bottle of water?
Hi, Rick Sorkin.
Harvey Specter, nice to meet you. Would you have a seat here? Whoa. What's this?
Can I help you?
No.
Excuse me, Mr. Tate.
Who are you?
My name is Louis Litt. I work for Pearson Hardman. I have some information that I think will lead you to the conclusion that you're better served at Pearson with me as your lead counsel.
I'm listening.
How the hell did you know they were the police? I read this novel in elementary school. Cops are staking out a hotel. One of them dresses as a bellhop, the other is a man in a suit. And it was the exact same thing.
You read a novel in elementary school.
What? I like to read.
And why'd you ask them what time it was?
Throw him off. I mean, what kind of drug dealer asks a cop what time it is when he's got a briefcase full of pot, right?
We should hire you. Jesus, I'd give you the 25 grand as a signing bonus.
I'll take it.
Unfortunately, we only hire from Harvard. And you not only did not go to Harvard Law School, you haven't even gone to any law school.
What if I told you that I consume knowledge like no one you've ever met and I've actually passed the bar?
I'd say you're full of crap.
That's a Barbary legal handbook right there, right? Open it up. Read me something. Anything.
Civil liability associated with agency is based on several factors,
including the deviation of the agent from his path, the reasonable inference of agency on behalf of the plaintiff, and the nature of the damages themselves.
How did you know that?
I learned it when I studied for the bar.
Okay, hotshot. Fire up this laptop. I'm gonna show you what a Harvard attorney can do. Pick a topic.
Stock option backdating.
Although backdating options is legal, violations arise related to disclosures under IRC Section 409A.
You forgot about Sarbanes-Oxley.
The statute of limitations renders Sarbanes-Oxley moot post-2007.
Well, not if you can find actions to cover up the violation as established in the Sixth Circuit, May 2008.
It's impressive, but you're sitting at a computer.
Playing hearts. Sorry, if you want to beat me, you're gonna have to do it as something else.
How can you know all that?
I told you, I like to read. And once I read something, I understand it. And once I understand it, I never forget it.
Why take the bar?
This dickhead bet me I couldn't pass it without going to law school.
Okay, look, this is all pretty fascinating stuff, but I'm afraid I gotta get back to work. I'll make sure that Serpico isn't around waiting for you. You want this job so much. Why don't you just go to law school?
When I was in college, it was my dream to be a lawyer. I needed some money, and Trevor convinced me to memorize this math test and sell it. Turns out we sold it to the dean's daughter. I lost my scholarship, I got kicked out of school, I got knocked into a different life. And I have been wishing for a way back ever since.
Let me tell you something. This isn't elementary school. This is hard work, long hours, high pressure. I need a grown goddamn man.
You give me this, and I will work as hard as it takes to school those Harvard douches and become the best lawyer you have ever seen.
I'm inclined to give you a shot, but what if I decide to go another way?
I'd say that's fair. And sometimes I like to hang out with people who aren't that bright, you know, just to see how the other half lives.
Move over. I'm emailing the firm. I just found our next associate.
Hi. Good morning.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Mike Ross? Hi. I'm Rachel Zane. I'll be giving you your orientation.
Wow, you're pretty.
Good. You've hit on me. We can get it out of the way that I'm not interested.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't hitting on you.
Trust me. I've given dozens of these, and without fail, whatever new hotshot it is thinks that because I'm just a paralegal, that I will somehow be blown away by his dazzling degree. Let me assure you, I won't.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was hitting on you.
You were. Take notes. I'm not going to repeat myself.
I love you.
Each bank of offices specializes in its own arena of the law and is anchored by a department head on either end. So on our left, mergers and acquisitions. On the opposite side, high net worth divorce.
Nice. Mergers across from divorce. Symmetry. Yeah, I should just listen.
The firm operates on a chain of command model. Harvey's your commanding officer. However, Louis Litt, he oversees all associates, so you'll also answer to him.
What do you think about Harvey?
People are in awe of him. They say he's the best closer there is, but I have very little contact with him, so I don't know.
What about Louis Litt?
Let's continue with your tour.
Hey, Becky, you are glowing. Wonder why that is. Oh, yeah. It's the day they announced my promotion. Jimmy, have you lost weight? Steve-O! Looking like a guy who came to work. Excuse me, why are you scratching off the senior off my door?
I got a work order to take it off.
Who issued the work order?
My supervisor?
Why did he issue the work order?
If I knew that, I'd be his supervisor.
You seem to be enjoying yourself.
I have enjoyed myself since 2004.
Donna? Someone's trying to have a little fun with me here.
Jessica wants to see you in her office.
And finally, this is where you'll live.
Wow.
I gave you that for a reason you haven't taken one note.
It's because...
Because you were too busy ogling me to listen to a word I've said.
Partners' offices anchor the wings. 5th floor is research, 6 is security. All work gets billed, even if it's finding an address. I answer to Harvey and Lewis lit, and judging by the way you responded to my questions, I should admire Harvey and I should fear Lewis. You have been here for 5 years, and just because I outrank you does not mean I have the authority to command your services. Oh, it's also pretty clear that you think you're too smart to be a paralegal.
You know what nobody likes? Nobody likes to show off.
You used the word ogling. Oh, when do I get to see Harvey?
Mike,
Hey, who's ready for a great first day?
I'm gonna have to let you go.
What?
I just got reamed for lying to a client, and if they find out that I lied about you going to Harvard, they'll take away my license.
You what?
Not now, Donna. Look, I have to put my own interests above yours. It's nothing personal. You're fired.
Wait, so you're worried that if I stay, then they might find out that you lied about me and you'll lose your license. But if you fire me, then I could tell them that you lied about me and you definitely lose your license.
Are you telling me that if I throw you under the bus, you're gonna drag me with you?
But you put your interests above mine, and I'm just putting mine back up next to yours.
You're rehired.
How's it going with Harvey?
Me? It's good. I'm learning. A lot of learning. Bye.
What's black and white and gonna cost you dearly? Whoa. Took me all morning to file this, golden boy. You owe me, and I won't forget it.
Oh, God, thank you. Oh, you smell papery.
Wyatt, it doesn't happen immediately. The paperwork's coming. Don't worry about it, okay?
Boom. There you go. Look at that.
Wyatt, let me call you back, okay? 5 minutes. Bye. What's this?
What is this? That's confirmation of the interference claim, which I proved up top.
What, you think you're working in a fraternity? You don't barge in here when I'm on the phone. And why are you so flush?
Why am I so what?
Your face is red. It looks like you've been in the sun.
This morning, Lewis took me to the tennis club.
He didn't give you a speech about the ponies, did he?
Oh, my God.
How he likes to cut one from the herd?
The ponies.
Was he wearing the headband?
You know about the headband? With the... Oh, my God, are you kidding me with that guy?
If you guys were playing tennis all morning, how'd you have time to file this?
It was this morning, actually. I was on the phone with them, and Lewis helped me.
Look at me.
And he did this snapping thing, and Gregory.
Look at me. You're high. Get out.
Harvey, you don't understand, Lewis.
Out.
Donna, you get Wyatt back on the line?
What are you doing in here?
It's the ladies' room.
Sorry. Can you do me a favor? Can we just keep this our little secret?
Why are your eyes so red?
How does this usually work?
Well, usually the trial starts and there's a judge, and then, people say things.
You've never done this before, have you?
Well, I never drove a car before the first time I drove one, and I'm still here, aren't I?
Oh, this is your first time? I'm your first? Don't worry, I promise not to be gentle.
Frank, it's nice to see you. One last time.
If it pleases the court,
It pleases the court to decide who speaks and when.
I'll sit down.
We're talking about $4,000 in withheld rent payments?
Yes, Your Honor, but we have receipts for repairs, lost clothing, as well as...
$4,000, yes, Your Honor. She was talking to me.
Why hasn't he paid, Counselor?
That one was for you.
Bed bugs, Your Honor. I have receipts that show my client's financial outlay to rectify the problem far exceeds the amount.
Housing Department certified the presence of bed bugs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Abatement?
Let's give you.
I'll do. Yep.
Your Honor, this is an eviction hearing. The pertinent question is not habitability, but whether or not rent has been paid.
Actually, city code states that rent may be withheld if the warranty of habitability is breached.
In that case, we request to see the checks Mr. Ross's client has placed in escrow.
The
Checks in escrow, pending the outcome of a rent abatement hearing.
That's not in the code.
It is the accepted practice.
And therefore binding in this courtroom.
Your client did put money in escrow, I assume.
I didn't have any money left. I had
Your
to pay
Honor?
for everything.
Eviction upheld.
But Your Honor,
Did you see me bang the gavel? That means step aside. Next case.
You never forget your first.
You know what happens to pitchers when they get shelled in rookie league, Mike? You think they make it to the bigs? Or do they just end up on some sad American Legion team of has-beens?
I get it. I lost. I'm sorry.
Well, you're sorry. In that case,
No, I am sorry. But right now, I have some research to do for Harvey, so if you'll excuse me.
remember when you stole that client I had you bring in? That was a good time for you, wasn't it? See, I gave you a nothing case so that when you did win, it would still do nothing for your career. But I still expected you to win. So yeah, I guess go back to your research. Maybe that is your niche.
Maybe it is. Karinsky owns 5 buildings, and they all used to be rent controlled, but now they go for $1.5 million a unit.
Nice profit margin.
I went to look for housing department complaints in the year prior to his remodel. In each one of them, tenants who couldn't buy into the conversion ended up with some complaint. Garbage, heat, air, all of them, one by one. Karinsky drove them out.
You couldn't get their names from housing complaints?
No, he gave me some names, but I need to make this bigger than just his building.
Look, I only get 1 hour off a day for lunch and I never take it. Do you really need me for this?
See these people who are leaving the building?
Mm-hmm.
The entire building looks like them.
I know I clean up okay, but
You need me to class you up a bit.
not class, but
Class.
whatever gets you through the door. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hi there. My wife and I are here to see some of the new units. Isn't that right, honey? So, what do you think, sweetheart?
It's fine, but I like the place on 52nd better.
52nd, that's awful close to your mother.
No. We're not talking about my mother.
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I love being your mother. I love your mother.
So why don't you tell us something about your little building?
Well, I think you'll find that not only are the amenities top quality, so are the tenants.
That's good to hear. Because we're not just looking at buying square footage, but really put down some roots.
Well, that is such the right way to look at it.
Is it?
Yes, and I think you'll also find that the people who've bought here, they're like you. They're young, ambitious.
We're acting.
Must you keep touching me? Is there a problem? Any other questions I can answer?
I'm sorry. My wife here, my beautiful wife, gets a little paranoid sometimes, you know. You wouldn't believe how long it took her to just go out with me in the first place. Forever. Are there any other tenants who have been here for a while? You know, who might be able to show us the ins and outs of the place, the neighborhood?
Well, the building was totally renovated 2 years ago, so most of our tenants are newer. We only reopened in January. But I think there are some of the old tenants who bought in.
Do you think that we might be able to speak to them?
Just to be sure.
It would really make us feel more comfortable. Ow! Feisty. So in love.
Yes.
So in love.
Oh, you brought a sack lunch. We would have shared.
Amusing.
As was this, your little lawsuit.
Take your sack of presents and run, kid. You're in way over your head.
Oh, I think he'll be just fine. Hello, Vivian.
Hello. So the rookie called in the veteran.
No, I'm just here to watch. I love spectator sports.
You enjoy watching the Yankees destroy a Little League team?
David and Goliath happens to be one of my favorite stories.
Okay. I'll bite. What's in the bag?
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, do you recognize this carpet?
Make him get that out of here.
This is your own carpet, Mr. Karinsky. It's from Frank Carvello's apartment. Come on. You feel the fibers, the texture. It's almost alive.
You brought bed bugs in here.
Whoa. That's vandalism, assault.
You know, I'm happy that you put it that way because that's exactly what we're going to be charging your client with.
What are you talking about?
He didn't just fail to eradicate a bedbug infestation, he actually created one. Yeah, he pulled the carpet from one of his old buildings, carpet that was already infested, and then he reinstalled it in my client's apartment to drive him out.
That's crazy.
You might want to warn your client about perjury. We've got sworn testimony from the installer.
And a picture of the same carpet from one of his old buildings before it was renovated. By the way, my wife and I really love what you've done with the place. So it looks like we're talking about what? Assault, violations of rental codes, health codes, and just basic codes of human decency.
And if a jury in New York heard all that, wow, imagine the damages.
Harvey, Specter, please.
Just get that carpet out of here.
So, Vivian, how am I doing for my first time? This still counts as my first time, doesn't it?
What the hell is Harvey doing? He's supposed to be deposing Elliot Perkins.
He's with a client.
I don't care. We have a deposition.
Don't even try it, Louis.
I'm sorry. Let's just start over, okay? Hi, Donna.
Hi.
You know I like you, right? But in the firm's food chain, I am a humpback whale, and you are phytoplankton.
June 3rd, 1997.
That date means nothing to me.
Doesn't it?
Who told you?
Is the important thing how I know or that I know?
Does Harvey know?
He can.
I am going to pay you. I just don't have cash on me right now. So I'm going to just tell Norman to run her old ass out to the ATM and then bring it back as you.
I don't want your money, Louis. I just want you to...
I was not here. I was not here. I was not.
All right, let's get started, shall we? Isn't Harvey Specter leading this deposition?
He sent me. Now, Mr. Perkins, my first question to you is, do you sleep well at night? course you do, because you have a roof and a bed and running water. And by contrast, thousands of families are going to be sleeping on the street when Stable Shelters is forced to suspend their operations, all because of the money that you stole.
I never stole anything.
You're Maslow's number 2. Money was embezzled. Do you deny that?
Absolutely.
Please, Robert, I know as general counsel you just basically push paper, but will you please warn Mr. Perkins of the penalties of perjury?
Look, I'm not aware of any perjury.
We know about your account in the Caymans. $20 million.
Are you kidding me? That transaction was legitimate.
Oh, when I take this public, you're going to be disgraced. Your wife, your children, your whole family disgraced.
Would you show my client some respect?
And that transaction had nothing to do with the firm.
Bullshit. You either took your cut from Maslow or it was hush money. Either way, you're going to live the rest of your life as a pariah, or you give up Maslow now.
Is this a deposition or an inquisition?
This is ridiculous. I can show you the records.
Oh, sure you can. Because you're the guy who invented losses in mortgage-backed securities when you never even bought them.
I had no part in that.
But you were aware of it and you did nothing about it.
Come on, Lewis.
I need a glass of water, please.
You can't get any water. We don't have any. You can give up Maslow now, and this all stops.
All right. My client needs a break. We can continue this in 10 minutes.
I'm just getting started.
I don't get it. She looks so sweet.
Don't let the photo fool you. She's less girl next door and more girl with a dragon tattoo. Look, my plate's full with Stable Shelters. I need you to look into Jerome's daughter.
Why didn't you just hire a private investigator?
Because if there's a problem, an investigator can't fix it. I'm not just a lawyer to Jerome, okay? I'm more like Robert Duvall in The Godfather. His consigliere.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Just if you're his Robert Duvall, you're coming to me, so technically I'm your Robert Duvall.
You're my Fredo.
Fredo?
No.
Robert, what the hell happened to Perkins?
Ask that pit bull of yours.
Oh no, actually, I prefer a female masseuse. Can I call you right back? Right back. Okay, back.
Perkins just got wheeled out on a stretcher.
Well, he couldn't handle the heat. He's probably faking it.
What were you thinking, starting that deposition without me?
I don't know, maybe if you were doing your job.
Oh, no.
What?
It's from Geller. Perkins wasn't faking anything. Our best chance to nail Anthony Maslow's dead.
Harvey? Harvey Specter.
Alexander Leeds. I hear you're working for the Attorney General's office.
And you're fighting for the oppressive capitalists.
Winning for the oppressive capitalists.
Good for you. We should have lunch. Catch up.
Who told you I was coming here tonight?
No one.
I haven't seen you in 5 years. You want to catch up? You want something from me, and it isn't lunch.
I want to talk about Cameron Dennis.
6 feet, Pisces, wavy hair.
I'm serious.
I haven't worked for Cameron in over a decade. What's there to talk about?
The Attorney General's investigating allegations that he systematically buried evidence to get convictions.
So talk to people who actually work with the guy.
You know, that's the problem. He's still their boss. Nobody's talking.
Neither am I. Over lunch or anywhere else, so best of luck.
Harvey, I was hoping for some lunch. I'm having you subpoenaed to testify before a grand jury. Enjoy your dinner. Give Cameron my best.
Hey, Harvey. Glad you could make it. How are you?
Tell me about the bullshit running that you staged this morning. How long did you have to wait so that you could pretend to be surprised to see me?
10 minutes. You're never early, but I didn't want to cut it too close.
Well, I also just had another little run-in with Alexander Leeds. Really want to drag me into this?
Calm down, Harvey. I'm not dragging you into anything. They're dragging me into this. It's election year nonsense, and I wanted to warn you.
So you asked me here to warn me?
To reassure myself that you've got my back.
How bad is it?
It's nothing I can't handle, but I'm glad you're here. Look, Harvey, whatever differences we had, we were a good team. The truth is that if anything taints the work that we did, it'll be bad for both of us.
Is that a threat?
I don't know. It's just reality. We put away bad people, Harvey. We fought tough battles, and we won. I taught you how to win.
It's not exactly what you told me, though.
I know that you didn't always approve of the means, but we both know that the end result was always right.
You're still the best smooth talker I know. Use it now. Talk your way out of this. Settle. Because if this goes to court, there are skeletons to be found.
And we'll find them.
You want to bank on that? I have your back. I am not volunteering anything. But if push comes to shove, I won't perjure myself. Not even for you. I worked as an assistant district attorney for the county of New York for 2 years.
Tell me about your relationship with Cameron Dennis.
Vague.
Did you and District Attorney Cameron Dennis work closely together?
He was my boss. He supervised all my cases.
And were you personally close?
Subjective.
A judge would allow it.
And yet there's not one here. Do you really think by deposing him on the stand, you're going to intimidate him?
I think deposing him here will let him know what it will be like if this evidence is brought forward at trial.
You're not getting to trial.
If your client doesn't perjure himself right now, I won't have to. Were you and Cameron Dennis close? Personally?
He was my mentor. It's a hard relationship to define.
Moving on, counselor.
All right. We don't have to talk about Mr. Dennis. Let's talk about you, Mr. Specter. In 2 years, you handled 18,362 cases, 36 cases a day. That's beyond impressive.
Thank you.
You took 147 to trial, winning them all.
Don't go to trial if you're not going to win.
Why'd you leave?
An attorney by the name of Jessica Pearson helped me get through law school, and she felt that I could use trial experience. But I always planned on ending up at her firm and paying her back by earning that firm outrageous settlements. How am I doing?
Could do better.
You two think that this is a joke?
Argumentative.
You're damn right it's argumentative. Because he knows that laws have been broken and he has an obligation to report it.
Miss Leeds.
But if this is the way you want to play it, the Attorney General has given me a broad mandate to uncover what went on. And it need not be limited to Mr. Dennis. Were you part of the problem, Mr. Specter?
Vague.
I'll rephrase. In your capacity as Assistant District Attorney in the County of New York, did you knowingly suppress evidence in violation of the ABA Rules of Conduct, the NDAA standards, and the New York State Bar Rule 8.4, Section C?
My client would like to exercise his Fifth Amendment rights at this time.
The court finds sufficient misconduct to warrant a new trial. Any pretrial motions at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. State advises that we will be seeking the maximum sentence of life in prison.
What?
Your Honor, my client has 4 years left.
Mr. Specter, the state has every right to seek that penalty. Would you like to confer with your client before I vacate his conviction?
Or you could just withdraw your motion right now.
I'll confer with my client, Your Honor.
Get the message?
Four more years.
What do you get out now?
Staying the rest of my life. September 19, 2007.
What? His halfway point.
I realized I could make it. I never said this could happen.
He's sending a message. It's got nothing to do with you.
It's got everything to do with me.
What do you want to do?
What do you think? If we win, I want in. If we lose, I don't.
We'll win.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Same way you knew I was guilty. What do you think?
I think Harvey wins his cases.
What would you do?
I trust him. Harvey, can you give us a minute? Clifford, I don't know you, and you don't know me. But I'm going to tell you a story about what that man did for me. And why I think you should trust him.
Court is now in session.
Mr. Specter.
Gonna withdraw your motion?
Your Honor, my client wishes to proceed to trial.
What do you think you're doing reopening this case?
Making sure an innocent man doesn't suffer for the crimes of others.
What about Jill?
Don't you care how she suffered?
You two would know more about that than anyone, right?
Excuse me?
I bought the Devastated Friend Act 12 years ago, but I know better now. Mike, meet Jason Black and Matt Bailey. Just don't shake their hands. They've got Jill Hodgkin's blood all over them.
Look, I don't know what you think you know, but when I'm done testifying, the jury's gonna know that Clifford killed Jill.
Just because you switched sides doesn't mean the rest of the world did.
We just lost the letter.
What?
I didn't realize he'd have the nerve to lie on the stand.
It's not exactly a giant leap from killing someone.
Perjury and murder, they aren't the same thing.
Yeah, murder's worse.
It's easier, nobody's watching. Let's go.
Mr. Black, what exactly did Jill tell you regarding the defendant?
She told me she felt trapped. I thought she was talking about school, but now I know what she meant. That letter was dated a week before she was killed. She must have broken up with him, and this is how he paid her back.
Mr. Black, you said you didn't see Jill Hodgkins at all on the day of the murder. Is that correct?
Correct.
So there'd be no reason for your blood to be on any of her clothing at all?
No, there'd be no reason.
Would you be willing to have a DNA test, Mr. Black?
Objection, Your Honor, prejudicial.
We'll pay for it if that's a problem.
Mr. Specter.
It's about the DNA, and they can't spin that. Detective Packle, the dress wasn't the only article of clothing that you submitted, was it?
No, there was a camisole.
Was it in your report?
Yeah, if you bothered to read it.
I did read it, Detective. And what was the DNA analysis on that camisole?
I never picked it up.
Why is that?
Well, it wasn't ready till 2 days later, and we already had enough from the dress.
Enough? A man's life is at stake. Enough for what?
Enough for you to put him away without bringing it up for 12 years.
Well, I did pick up that test, along with the camisole.
Your Honor, I'd like to request a sidebar.
On what grounds?
The camisole and any evidence connected to it are inadmissible.
This is bullshit.
Easy. What?
Your Honor, in between picking up the camisole at the precinct and dropping it off at the lab, you can see here the document is flawed. Therefore, the chain of possession with respect to the camisole was broken.
You gotta be kidding.
It's inadmissible.
First 6.
What?
First 6 months are the hardest. In your mind. I don't know if I can do that again.
Mr. Specter, you are accusing a police officer of tampering with evidence.
Yes, I am. When the results of the DNA test came back, they didn't line up, and Detective Packle changed the custody document.
Even if Mr. Specter's assertions were true, it would automatically taint the evidence anyway.
He's got a point.
That camisole was what allowed us to reopen this case in the first place.
The camisole was proof that evidence was buried. That's why the case was reopened. An entirely separate issue from whether that evidence can be used in this trial.
Clifford, I don't know what's going on in there, but no matter what they rule, he's not gonna lose this one.
You sure?
Yeah, I am.
Your Honor.
That's enough. I'm instructing the jury to disregard all testimony relating to either the camisole or the resulting DNA test.
DNA results. Jason Black and Matt Bailey, they matched samples of the DNA taken from that camisole. They did it.
Where'd you get that?
I found it.
Well, it doesn't prove anything.
It's their blood on her.
So what? They could have had a gym class together, played flag football, or any one of 100 other reasons.
Jason Black said he didn't see her that day.
It's 2 specks of blood from what could easily be any other day.
What's wrong with you?
Me? You come in here with some unauthorized DNA test, and right away you expect me to just release a convicted felon into the
He
street.
didn't do it. And how can you allow him to sit in there while these 2 other murderers go free?
Let me explain something to you. My job's to prosecute, your job is to defend. I didn't bury any evidence. I didn't toss that DNA. The judge did that. Based on fact, you're coming after me for the sins of someone else. This piece of paper here means nothing. So unless one of those 2 boys just up and volunteered that they killed that girl, your client's gonna go back to prison for the rest of his life.
Terrence, you have a reputation as a fair man.
I don't give a damn what other people think of me. I care about what I think of me.
Take them off.
Huh?
Take him off. He's not an animal. I want to talk to him like a man.
What happened?
Wolf won't drop the charges.
What?
I tried everything.
You tried.
Look, we can cut a deal. We can ask for more time.
He already said no way.
We have got to
Try? Try like you did with the DNA? I had 4 years. 4 years of 16 that I only had in the first place because of you.
Clifford, we...
Shut up. Why don't you take it out on me?
What'd you say?
I said take it out on me.
Harvey.
I put you in there. I let you rot. I didn't give it a minute's thought for over a decade.
Don't push me.
Why not? I deserve it. It's my fault. You said it yourself.
Harvey.
They'll put me back in the hole. That's why now.
Oh, and increase the sentence? It's gonna happen anyway. Guard. Come on. You know, Jason Black.
I said don't
and
catch
Matt
me.
Guard, they killed Jill, and they are out there laughing their asses off. Knock it off.
What? Come here. Get off of him. You tried? Let's go. You said you'll get me out. Let's go. You said you'll get me out.
What just happened? I just bought us 48 hours.